You're watching TVC Breakfast. The House of Representatives has urged the federal government to provide bailout funds for ailing industries in the country.
This is believe will help in addressing the problem of unemployment while also creating wealth for the country.
Available statistics show that an alarming 1.3 million new graduates are enrolled from more than 170 accredited tertiary institutions every year. This figure does not include graduates who are exempted from the National Youth Service for one reason or the other. It is estimated that there are about 20 million unemployed graduates in Nigeria.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues.
This is why this lawmaker representing Ikeja Federal Constituency of Lagos State wants the authorities to salvage the industries in the country.
If the government can identify, let's say, 100 companies in Nigeria and approach the major banks, World Bank, African Development Bank, and whatsoever, and say we want to resuscitate these 100 companies and take a loan to do it, I think that Nigeria will be better off for it. To remove his agbada.
His colleagues are equally convinced that there is the need for the government to be more proactive and safeguarding corporations of government from total collapse.
If the industries come up and you do
But concerns arose among the legislators on how past bailout efforts have impacted on the lives of the average citizen.
We need a skill-based education that will make us be productive, because in modern day, what we try to drive is knowledge-based economy. We have young, smart people, but if our educational system is properly structured, it would help us to create the economy that we would deserve.
Bailout for the collapsed industry is very important, and it will going to help the creation of jobs in our country.
The lawmakers also charged the authorities to empower and improve the capacity of the National Directorate of Employment, NDE, across the country. The federal government is also urged to embark on massive vocational centers as a way of encouraging self-employment. As part of the prayers of the motion, the lawmakers want the federal government to improve power and transport infrastructure, and as well monitor the use and disbursement of the fund when it is eventually doled out. Joke Adson, TVC News, Abuja.
Well, joining us now is a business and technology advisory, Adekunle Akindeji. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast. Now, in tackling unemployment, the government is looking at reviving ailing industries and, perhaps pumping in bailout funds, so to speak, to revive these industries. Well, because when you look at the rate of unemployment, the Minister of Labour recently had to raise an alarm because the unemployment rate is getting to alarming proportions. Is this the way to go?
Yeah, thank you once again. I think it's one of the ways to go, maybe not the only ways. If we try to look at aspect of the economy that has benefited in the last 3, 4, 5 years, will perhaps be the technology business. And this has happened because policies and opportunity have been given to foreign companies, VCs, who can then begin to play in that space. And then as such, you begin to see a lot of young people who ordinarily would be looking for jobs, but who have technical know-how now setting up a few things for themselves and in essence, trying to bring in, reduce the unemployment rate. I think that is the way to go. However, we should not go the way of just getting the funds and being distributed out. I think there should be a channel, there should be a standard framework in which you want to go. So maybe it's training in certain sector where we think that youth are lacking the knowledge. Engineering, for example, our health space, for example. A lot is happening in the technology, like I mentioned. What can we do? How can we revive sectors that are not agriculture? It's a big space that you want to see young people begin to innovate in that space. So I think one of the other things that government has done very well is the new policy to banks to say you must borrow out, you must give out loans to people. Because when I've gone through trainings or I've gone through an ideation process, I need capital to start this. So if what you give to me, when I'm sure If I start a business and I can prove to you that over a period of 1 to 2 years, this business is sustainable, I can then go to bank without asking for my grandmother's certificate. I will be able to access this loan. I think that enough in itself is a way to go.
For local companies that are already established and are trying to find their feet to expand and all of that.
Yes.
We have automobile industry,
Yes.
one of the known ones that in the East, which certainly is coming up, there are local production of electric meters, also Nigerian brands and all of that. How should government engage some of these companies to ensure that they expand and they also sustain?
So expansion is one, quality is the other. So the challenge has always been that people would go for quality. So one of the things you can help in the sector is to help international bodies to help to put things in perspective. ISO, for example, if a small companies are put in tranches to say over a period of 2-3 years, if you're able to show quality, you're able to show enthusiasm, after this period, we'll take you through an ISO program, which means that if you have been certified by such bodies anywhere in the world, you can not only provide the services to companies here, you have the opportunity to earn FX. So it makes the sector, it makes us begin to focus away a little from the known or established sector into other sectors of the economy that we can develop.
All right, we have to leave it at this point. Adekunle Akindeji, thank you for your time on TVC Breakfast.